I was one of the first people to watch The Matrix when it originally came out back in the day. Some of you guys watching this weren't even born at the time. My friends and I went to the cinema. Actually, we went to see Star Wars, right? And it was fully booked. All the tickets were gone. So the guy at the cashier that was selling the tickets in the cinema said, "Well, why don't you see this new film? What's it called? The Matrix." Ah, man. My friend and I were like, "Nah, we really want to see Star Wars. We're going to wait till the next showing on that same day." That time we had a kind of we were students, so we had free Wednesdays or something like that, right? So we didn't have any money, so we didn't, we wanted to maximize that ticket that we had, and we didn't want to wait till the next week and the next week again to see Star Wars, right? But then we were told that even the next show had been booked out. So, you should really see The Matrix, man. It's pretty good. It starts in 5 minutes, said the guy. I looked at my friend, we're like, well, all right then. Who's in it? Keanu Reeves, yeah, whatever. He was that. He's been in a few movies. Yeah, it wasn't that big then. And then I saw Lawrence Fishburne. I'm like, he's pretty all right. Yeah, okay then. You know what? It's got swords in it. We're like kung fu or whatever. Let's go see it. Right. We sat in there, and within the first minute of the movie starting, we were like, I don't lie to you when I say we watched the movie. My friend and I, we came out of the movie, looked at each other, and we paid full price to see it again immediately. We went back in and we watched it again. And then we went up and then we went on and watched it in 5 different countries on 3 different continents. We saw it in England, I saw it in the United States, and then when I traveled to see my friend who's an Egyptian, shout out to you, Ahmed. I haven't heard from you in a while, by the way. We went and saw it in Egypt. I watched it in Arabic with subtitles. And then I saw it in Nigeria, and then I saw it in Senegal. So that's 5 countries for me on 3 different continents. And since then, I must have seen that movie maybe over 100 times because each time I watched it, I'd see something new, I'd hear something new. But the thing that struck me the most, right, in the whole movie was the bit where the machines showed the real world where people were hooked up to this device and there were, batteries or whatever. And occasionally one of the batteries would wiggle, right? And as if to wake up, right? Because they were in a deep state of sleep. So when they wiggled and sort of try to wake up in the matrix, that person who's the digital representation of that thing that is about to wake up, that person, that battery that's wiggling, trying to wake up, is actually also waking up in in the matrix. In the matrix, they're starting to see the fabric of the matrix. They're trying to realize that there's something going on. There's something not quite right with their reality. That there's a problem. That there's something is wrong, and the machines will move in, either turn it off, dispose of that person, or plug them back in, or inject them with something that puts them back to sleep, or whatever. So the powers that be, which are the machines, are constantly watching out for these people that are about to wake up, because the worst thing you can have are people who are awake in the matrix because they disturb the balance, right? They start to spread their awareness, to try and wake other people up. Now, in the Matrix, of course, you had the Oracle, you had that sort of yoga boy, I don't know what his name was, that sort of monk. There's some personalities who have disconnected themselves from the Matrix, have freed their mind, that even though they were batteries still, they've gained true consciousness inside the Matrix. And that bit really, really got to me because it got me thinking in this real world that we're in, there are people who are awake, right? Not woke, awake, people who are conscious of what's going on. But the vast majority of us, I say us because I believe I'm included as well. I'm probably one of those people that's starting to sort of wiggle in the battery, and the machines are now trying to plug me back in or whatever. But I think now and again, there's always a percentage of people that don't quite merge with the matrix, that their makeup just this the way that they are, they're not compatible with the matrix. And these people, either they get offed somehow, or something gets done to them, or somehow they're able to elude the powers that be, and they go around trying to wake up other people. Some of these people that you see that seem to be a little bit crazy and they're trying to tell us something, most people just look at them like, oh, this guy must be mad. But inside their own minds, they're sure that there's something wrong. I think that what happened in 2020, I don't know, I think that was like a mass awakening of sorts, right? And I think that people all over the world sort of experienced this sort of mass wiggling, right? A lot of people sort of started wiggling around in their little pods. There's something wrong, man. And for the first time in a long time, a lot of people sort of started considering the possibility of this thing not being completely real, because a lot of us has never thought about it before. I've always thought about it since I've been a kid. I've sort of known there was something weird that's not quite right. Like, I've got a special sort of pattern recognition talent. I don't know if it's called a talent or if it's just OCD, that I see patterns everywhere. And wherever there's something is slightly out of pattern, I can see it. I can immediately perceive it, right? And there was a heavy displacement of pattern that happened in 2020 during the lockdowns and these global events. During the lockdown and the global events, right? I think a lot of people at that point in time have been trying to wake up. I think the human beings, right? I was watching a video today, and it was actually about YouTube and how we can do episodic videos, right? And the lady said something quite profound, that human beings, we are hardwired to seek closure. So something happened in 2020 that we haven't talked about, we haven't addressed it, we don't have closure, we don't know what happened. As such, a lot of people aren't able to plug back into the matrix. They're just not compatible with it anymore. And now we have these mass occurrences of anxiety, depression, mental illness, spectrum, people on the mental spectrum, I don't know how to put it, the psychological spectrum, start to exhibit, schizophrenia, bipolar. We've had a massive increase in children being sort of restless, ADHD. Someone is going to study this in future, right? Someone's going to do a PhD when they're going to map out what happened, and they're going to graph it, and they're going to see a massive spike in all sorts of things. Now, some people are going to put that to the jab. I don't think that's what it was. I think it's to do with the sudden break from what people believe to be reality. Someone who's been born and all of their lives they've had to do the same thing. They've been told the same thing. They have a set of beliefs. They have a set of a lifestyle in their head that they believe how things should be, the status quo. And just overnight, all of that was yanked from them. The rug was pulled from underneath their feet, and now they know, and now they no longer hold those things as true. The pillars of their belief have been shaken. A lot of people that used to be religious now are questioning their religions. A lot of spiritual people have become more spiritual, less spiritual. A lot of people that weren't religious are now deeply religious, because people are seeking for answers, people are seeking closure. And as long as we don't get closure for what happened in 2020, 2021, 2022, this disconnection from the matrix is only going to grow. And I'm afraid if there really is a set of powers that be who are running the matrix and they had something to do with 2020, then unfortunately they have shot themselves in the foot, because they are creating free minds, right? People who are going to eventually grow up more aware of the fact that this stuff ain't that real, right? So that can't be good for them. Nah, There's something wrong, man.